I trust with a fair degree of certainty that this time we shall proceed. Well, I'll show you my method. My method begins with the creation of something I call the shaker complex. First, I must find a nice shaker, like that one. Now, some of you might know that in Amapiano, you have what we might otherwise call a run of 16th notes on the shaker. And this run, let us call it that, is based on it's called a Latin American root. It's a kind of action where basically you have two soft shakes, one pronounced shake, another soft one, and then that pattern repeats itself. So as I do that, I can then repeat this and set my tempo to traditional Amapiano tempo 1/14. Sorry, wrong instrument. Let's loop that. Oh gosh, sometimes I wondered about myself. No, do as I say, Mr. Computer Man. There we go. And we'll steal from here and copy this one over. There we go. Have a nice shaker loop, just to give us a foundation. Okay, some of these are a bit too loud. Changes the sound of the whole instrument. And it's also a bit too fast. There we are. Still, I find that interesting, I have to say. Let's drop the volumes of everything. Why is it that when we stream, you do funny things today? Drop all the volumes. All of them. Very low, blue low. Raise them again. Nope. This one. Nope. As you can see, I continue to have these teething problems. This one. I believe it's you. Yeah, I believe it's you. Yeah, I believe it's you. And we make that small again. Make Amapiano small again. And then the threshold is somewhere there. There we go, and there it is, that little, that soft, loud, soft. Very much pleasing to the ear. Now, why do I call this a shaker complex? First, we have to work within the confines of this area here. Well, we're going to start modifying it. How so? Well, there's other shakers. So the first thing I try to do is find I'm just trying to hear what it sounds like with another shaker. So you see that? It's a bit too rough. A the lightning in the background, or the thunder, I should say. That wooden shaker. Let's try and do this already here, because combining it there. Call that there, and here we call it a wooden shaker. Wooden, not wooden. Yes, I have decreased significantly in age all of a sudden. My voice is a lot deeper now. And then, what are we doing? Take this wooden shaker. Wooden shaker, where are you? Come on, wooden shaker. Are you there? I don't suppose. Let's do this. Come on, come on. I mixed up the midis. Here we go. So already this is a kind of complex because we've got two shakers going at the same time. And the wooden shaker is giving a little bit of that lower end body to the shaking sound. Now, one of the things I learned from compositional classes is that if you have sort of like a repeating pattern, you can do this thing of kind of like, omitting randomness. What do I mean by that? Let's say from the first one, I omitted every 3 starting from 2. So now 3, 3. Maybe let's do this before we make alterations. Let's make sure we've got a version that we can revert to. So we'll mute this one, call it prime. Here we will start with these alterations. So take away 2 and then leave 3. Take away 2 there and leave 3. Leave 3. Leave 3. Nearly knocked my glass of sparkling water off. Leave 3 and there we go. Finally enough, it's perfect. It just sounds like galloping horses. Probably not that interesting. If we restore them all. No, I don't want to see the score. And, oh boy. Let's close that. And roll again. Go back here. So 3 is a bit too metric. So let's leave 5. That shouldn't be too metric. 3 and then another 5. And maybe let's see how that sounds. Sorry, this one. See, there's a little bit more interest in that one. So here, let's leave 4, and then 2, and then another 5. then from the wood we start off with 3, and we're going to leave 5, and then 2, and then let's say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 2, and then 5 again, and then 2. So let's see. Those of you who are listening through either 2 speakers or your headphones, you'll be able to hear the panning differentiation so that it doesn't sound like phasing. I hope you can always hear me, because sometimes as I'm working I turn towards the operative screen, which means that I'm not always with my mouth to my mic. I'm going to do something interesting here. At least I think it's interesting. I'm going to add some chorus. It's here. Just trying to turn it up so I can hear. It's only dialing it down for now. This is tremolo. Tremolo is kind of like takes the volume up and down in different kinds of. No, that doesn't work. As you can see, much of composing is this. It's just playing around with dials. Obviously, if you have a rough idea of what they do, it helps you a little bit more. But it's playing around with dials, so you find something you think is interesting. It's great. Just trying to create all these little subtle depth thingies. And there you go, there's a 2-man shaker complex. It's not a simple shaker, which, you know, I don't like simple things. I'm an experimental kind of person. As proclaimed by my decaf coffee. Now, it's time for some other element. Let's go Asian kid, Chinese kid. I don't know what the hell is going to be here for me, but we have to. Let's go Asian kid, maybe a little bit more broad. And then we'll So this is where I go into a bit of a zone, and being in a zone, I need to kind of find something. So please forgive me for not saying much. I like. So what I actually want to do is double this up. With this Asian kid thing, I think. Let's duplicate this. And then, what is it called? Schnapps. Schnapps, isn't that a kind of snaps? Okay. I thought it was schnapps, like peach schnapps. Oh, they all inherited my biased panning. Take all that out. And here we take the snaps out. So it becomes something like this. So it sort of has this kind of like weird. showing me the score. Let's do this. You see, if you can carry it on, it feels a bit, what's the word? Indulgent to go for another. What the heck, let's do it. It's called phasing. It's sort of like you kind of pick up that something's not quite on, if that makes any sense. The loop. Let's go back to the African kid. This will have to be looped, right? So no, don't do that. It's just to control the loop. Otherwise it will lost. I honestly think that streaming is causing it. So this, I think, is a good bedrock to begin doing more things. It's nice and subtle. If you want to have an expansive imagination. It's sort of like you're late at night by the river or something, and you can hear the frogs and the crickets, and I don't know, all sorts of insects and buzzing, telling you it's a nice, beautiful, gentle night out in the savannah or by the lake somewhere. Somehow, I say the savannah, but they use a lot of presumably Asian instruments. Do you know how Asian they are? Not just the African ones. Some of them I know them to be authentic African instruments. If we go back in here, I wonder what we can do with maybe like a kicky kind of sound. So let's see what we can do. Let's just try and shape that. I like using volume differential to make different sounds. Okay, then this one we can't loop because we want to make some additional alterations going forward. So let's just save this. Let's call it live string perk 1. Let's see what improvisations we can come up with. So these two are basically gonna join. That's a single loop, and then we loop it like that. Then I want to do something interesting here. Let's get who can we get? Oh yeah, let's go. I wonder if I still have some sounds here. Let's do that. So what we're going to do here is put this as log drum, and then we're going to hit the record button and go. There's a car spinning in the background. I don't know if you can hear it. It's rather irritating when you're trying to be Mozart on Amapiano. Well, there you are. So this is very experimental. I'm very happy with this result, knowing very well that I'm going to come tomorrow, or whenever it is I continue with this beat, and think to myself, what kind of shoddy dot was I making here? And what possessed me to think that there might have been some kind of potential? But this is the nature of making music, and then you just have to go with it and try and rediscover whatever you heard the first time, and then make it come alive with more things. Before I go, I feel like it's only right to create this very quickly. So let's punch that in. Okay, for real now. So this is what it is for now. We will need to adjust it for later. This is some deep proper house. Leave a comments and likes and stuff like that in the comments if you'd like to see me finish this. Otherwise, this is the basic idea. This is mission accomplished for this particular session, and this has been a lovely experience. To my colleague here who has done all the beat making, Sir Jonathan Wilfred, thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you for tolerating such an old man making beats. Thank you. Amapiano, very lovely.